Welcome, everyone. Today, you are about to hear the powerful and emotional life story of Queen Victoria, the young girl who never expected to wear a crown, the woman who ruled the largest empire in history, the wife who loved deeply, the widow who mourned for decades, and the queen who shaped an entire era. This story is written in simple, clear English. It is perfect for learners. But more than that, it is a human story, full of love, loneliness, power, responsibility, and endurance. Let's begin. On May 24th, 1819, a baby girl was born at Kensington Palace in London. Her full name was Alexandrina Victoria. No one in that room believed she would one day rule an empire that stretched across continents. At the time of her birth, she was fifth in line to the throne. There were several people ahead of her. The crown seemed far away, but history can change quietly. One by one, the people ahead of her died without children. Slowly, the line became shorter. And without planning it, without asking for it, young Victoria moved closer to the throne. Her father, Prince Edward, died when she was only 8 months old. She grew up without a father's protection. Her mother, Princess Victoria of Saxe-Coburg-Saalfeld, was strict and controlling. Alongside her stood Sir John Conroy, a powerful advisor who wanted influence over the future queen. Together, they created what became known as the Kensington System, a set of strict rules designed to keep Victoria dependent and obedient. She was not allowed to walk alone. She could not choose her own friends. She even had to sleep in the same room as her mother until her teenage years. Her childhood was not filled with freedom. It was filled with supervision. She had no siblings, no close childhood friends. Her companions were tutors, dolls, and her beloved dogs. But something important was happening inside that quiet palace. Victoria read constantly. She learned languages, French, German, and Italian. She studied history and politics. She loved music and drawing. She began writing a diary at the age of 13, and she would continue writing in it for the rest of her life. At age 8, a teacher showed her a family tree. Victoria followed the lines carefully. When she realized she would likely become queen one day, she said only one sentence: "I will be good." It was not a childish dream. It was a promise. On June 20th, 1837, everything changed. Victoria was 18 years old when she was awakened early in the morning. The Archbishop of Canterbury and Lord Conyngham entered her bedroom. They bowed. "Your Majesty," they said, "the king is dead." Her uncle, King William IV, had passed away. And suddenly, the lonely girl from Kensington Palace became Queen of the United Kingdom. She walked into a room filled with powerful older men. Many expected her to be weak and easy to control. But Victoria stood straight, calm, and serious. She spoke clearly. She made decisions confidently. That very day, she moved to Buckingham Palace. Soon after, she removed Sir John Conroy from her life forever. For the first time, she was free, but freedom brought responsibility. She was young. She had little political experience. She relied heavily on her first prime minister, Lord Melbourne, who became her mentor. He taught her how government worked. He guided her through political crises. He helped her grow into her role. Yet even as queen, she felt alone. Then love returned to her life. Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, her cousin from Germany, came to visit in 1839. They had met briefly before, but now something deeper formed between them. Albert was intelligent, disciplined, and thoughtful. He loved music and science. He respected Victoria not only as a woman, but also as a monarch. Because she was queen, she had to be the one to propose. And she did. On February 10th, 1840, Victoria married Prince Albert in a ceremony that would change royal tradition forever. She wore a white wedding dress, beginning the tradition of white bridal gowns that continues today. Their marriage was not political. It was deeply personal. Albert became her closest advisor. Though he had no official power at first, he helped her understand policy, modern science, and social reform. He encouraged improvements in education and housing. He supported the arts. In 1851, he helped organize the Great Exhibition in London, the first international exhibition of industry and innovation, held inside the Crystal Palace. It showed the world that Britain was a leader in technology and progress. Together, Victoria and Albert had 9 children. Through strategic marriages, those children connected Britain to royal families across Europe. Victoria later became known as the grandmother of Europe. But her family life was not always peaceful. She struggled with postpartum depression after childbirth. She sometimes felt overwhelmed by motherhood. Yet Albert remained her emotional anchor. Then, in 1861, tragedy struck. Prince Albert fell ill. Doctors believed it was typhoid fever, though historians still debate the cause. He grew weaker day by day. On December 14th, 1861, at the age of 42, Albert died. Victoria was devastated. She wore black for the rest of her life, nearly 40 years. She removed color from her wardrobe and from her public life. She withdrew from society. For years, she avoided public ceremonies. Newspapers criticized her. People called her the Widow of Windsor. Some questioned whether the monarchy was still strong. But grief does not follow political schedules. Victoria had lost not just a husband, but her partner in ruling. She felt incomplete. Over time, however, she slowly returned to duty. Prime Minister Benjamin Disraeli played an important role in rebuilding her confidence. He treated her with warmth and respect. In 1876, under his government, she received a new title, Empress of India. At that time, the British Empire stretched across Canada, Australia, New Zealand, India, large parts of Africa, and many other territories. People said, the sun never sets on the British Empire because it covered so much of the globe. Victoria became a symbol of stability during rapid change. The 19th century saw enormous transformation. Railways connected cities. Telegraphs allowed instant communication. Factories reshaped economies. Cities expanded. This period is now called the Victorian Era, a time known for industrial progress, strict social rules, moral values, innovation, and also deep inequality within the empire. Victoria's reign was complex. The empire expanded, bringing wealth to Britain, but also control and hardship to colonized regions. Modern historians debate this legacy. She was both a symbol of unity and part of a system of imperial power. In her later years, another important figure entered her life, Abdul Karim, an Indian attendant who arrived during her Golden Jubilee in 1887. He taught her Urdu and shared Indian culture with her. Many at court disliked their closeness, but Victoria defended him strongly. She valued loyalty and companionship deeply, especially after so much loss. By the end of her life, she had ruled for more than 63 years, longer than any British monarch before her. On January 22nd, 1901, at Osborne House on the Isle of Wight, Queen Victoria died peacefully at the age of 81. Her funeral followed her personal wishes. She asked for white, not black. She wanted Albert's robe placed beside her. She requested personal items in her coffin, reminders of love, memory, and loyalty. When she died, an entire era ended. Her son became King Edward VII. Britain moved into a new century, but Queen Victoria's impact remained. She proved that a woman could rule a global empire for decades. She showed that leadership can survive personal heartbreak. She demonstrated that strength and emotion can exist together. Her life teaches powerful lessons. Where you begin does not define where you will end. Pain will come, but you can still continue. Love is not weakness, it is strength. Quiet consistency can be more powerful than loud speeches. And your story, even if it feels small, can shape history. Queen Victoria was not perfect. She lived in a complicated time, but she endured. She began as a controlled, lonely girl. She became a young queen under pressure. She transformed into a loving wife and mother. She survived as a grieving widow, and she ended as a symbol of an entire century. Even a quiet child can grow into a powerful leader. And perhaps, in your own life, you may discover the same truth. If this story helped your English and inspired your heart, keep learning, keep growing, and remember, greatness is not born. It is built day by day through responsibility, love, and courage.